Hello everybody, welcome to episode 5 of AJTV. I know I was complaining that I didn't have a cartoon like Jerry last time, so I made one myself. Bing! Nice, right? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm really sorry that this episode took so long to get out. Uh, we're going over Tommy Woods versus Craig Wescoe from the top 8 of Worlds, and it took a lot of work to edit the footage down because it's a Pro Tour, so they're taking a lot longer, and the production quality is so high that they have these like big sweeping shots and stuff, when obviously I just want to look at the game state. So it took me a while, and still trying to find that balance of like how much work versus the final product, and yeah, hopefully we'll be able to hit that balance. But I also had, this is my second time recording this because we had some technical difficulties. You can tell the sound quality still isn't, I mean, it's better, but I don't have that crispness I'm trying to get. I actually got a new microphone for Christmas, and I've been using it to stream, and it's been okay, but I'm still like trying to figure it out, so like my S's still sound weird. So yeah, before we go into the game, I want to take a second to look at the deck list and these two handsome gentlemen. The deck lists, I mean, they're a little outdated by now. Again, this isn't about, optimizing a deck list. This is just about the plays and the strategies. And both these players play amazingly in this whole match. If you haven't watched this match, you really should. We're only going over Game 5, which I think is the best game. But this match is definitely worth looking at. And so let's just jump right into it, actually. Conley on the play Nexus, and then Glinthawk Idol, and Craig just has a land and an honor of the cure. Now, Conley's hand right now he's got an X champion. Ooh, nice transition. He's got an X champion and a Glinthawk and some other stuff. And some people were asking, like I think Z on Twitter asked why he didn't just like play Glinthawk. Obviously, you don't want to play your X champion here. You expose it to like Fiend Hunter, Oblivion Ring, or Divine Offering, or basically anything. But Glinthawk actually progresses your board, so why not play it instead of just doing what Conley ends up doing, which is land, activate both, get ya. Now, an important consideration here, well, what Conley said is that he's basically playing around timely reinforcements here, which is easy enough to say, but I want to examine why he's playing around timely. It's one thing to just play around a card that you know he has in his deck, but it's another to put that card into their hand in the context of a specific game state, like at a certain point. The two questions you have to ask in order to do this are, one, how likely is it that he has that card? And two, how bad is it for me if I don't play around it? The answer to the first question is pretty likely. We can sort of infer that it's likely that he has it from his slow start. Turn 1 nothing, turn 2 honor the cure is a really slow start on the draw for Craig's deck, especially against a deck that you know is quite fast, like Tempered Steel. Now, what could make a hand like this keepable? That's right, timely reinforcements. So, we've answered the first question. It's actually quite likely he has timely reinforcements, because he kept 7 on the draw and his hand is quite slow, and timely reinforcements is a card that would make that okay. Second, how bad would it be for me? Well, imagine he had a Glinthawk and the Idol in play. Obviously, Wescoe wouldn't be able to gain the life because we wouldn't have been able to attack, play, and replay. But he has an honor. So now we have this Glinthawk and this Glinthawk Idol, and this Inkbomb Nexus, against 3 2/2s for only 1 card. Wescoe still has a hand full of action, and we're down a bunch, and still behind. So the answer to the second question is it'd be pretty bad. So it's likely that it has something that would be bad for us if we don't play around it. That's why we play around it, not just because he might have it. Now, as the game progresses, there's a couple interesting turns from Craig's side of the board. He makes a couple decisions that seem natural, but I question for the sake of argument, where Conley just plays absolutely beautifully the whole time, and it's really a pleasure to watch. So now that he's up to 4 mana and potentially Metalcraft, because he can activate his Nexus, and then it's Nexus, Idol, and the champion itself, he feels safe to play it. Good look at Craig's hand. Now here's the first turn that I'm sort of going to question. Again, we look at his hand. It's a beautiful shot, and we can see his options in front of us. Now, what I think here is, I guess I'll let it play so we can look at the game state. Spoiler, Craig chooses to Oblivion Ring the Gwynhawk Idol. Now, I'm not necessarily saying this is wrong, but I do want to look at the alternatives. And the main alternative for me would be to attack first. So if we attack first here, there are basically two options. One, he takes it, which then we're in the same situation we are by Oblivion Ringing, because obviously he can't block once you take away his potential of Metalcraft. And his other option is to animate the Nexus after blocking and give it Metalcraft, prevent 3 damage. If he does that, we exile the Angel at end of combat, and then we get to play our timely reinforcements. We'll be knocking him to 15, so we won't get to gain 6 life, but we'll have 3 2/2s and a Geist with Oblivion Ring, Theme Hunter in hand against this board, which I'm quite comfortable with. I think that timely here, even though we don't get the life, and I think that's why Wescoe didn't consider this play, because he wants to get the life out of the timely, but I think it's worth it to get the 3 2/2s. Not to mention, I don't know how likely it is that we're ever going to be below Conley's life total while we're attacking him with 5/5 Angels in the air. It's going to be really hard for him to race straight up, which is another reason to just play timely when you can, because it's unlikely we're going to be able to gain life. Now, the other option is that he just takes it. Oh, I'm sorry, I already said that. Alright, we're good. So then, the other thing is, once he takes it, and then we play Oblivion Ring on this, and the turn plays out exactly the same, is we've given him an opportunity to mess up, which I don't think he would have, because he's already shown a propensity to playing around timely reinforcements. But we put it in his head that we might have something like a Divine Offering, which we do have one of, or a Dismember. You know, you can put that fear into him basically for free. So this is just like a basic sequencing thing that I think could have been optimized, but again, the end result would have been pretty, like 99.9% the same. And the only thing that could have been different is a warning light might go off in Conley's head and make him play differently. And here Conley plays a hero, which, up until now, Wescoe has not seen post-board. In fact, Conley had boarded them out, and boarded one back in because of the way that Craig was using his removal. So this is, this might be a bit startling for Wescoe, who surely assumed that a 4-mana creature would be sideboarded out. And that's what leads to play. Let's go to my little board. It's going to lag a little, because I have so many objects here. There we go. This is the game state, after he plays an island. The obvious play is the Theme Hunter the hero. And I'll actually go back and show you that that is actually what he does. Now, even though it's the most intuitive and obvious play, Hero's a super dangerous card, and we have a removal spell, why wouldn't you kill it? But if we pause for a moment and analyze what's going on here, I think playing Timely Reinforcements is better. And this isn't to say that Craig messed up, because this is an outrageous play to let Hero attack you. But let's look at it. We've already played our island. Obviously, we want to hold Moreland Haunt as long as possible. And we're obviously going to play this Honor, because our other two options are 3 mana and we have 5 mana. Now, if we play Fiend Hunter, you'll see how that game plays out. But actually, I should have planned this better, but let's actually watch what happens. Because then we can put the cards directly into Conley's hand and see how the game would have played out. Or could have played out based on a number of decision trees. Conley thinks long and hard about his block and ends up taking it down to 2. And then we have a great sequence from Conley here. He animates his Nexus to give him Metalcraft and dispatches the Fiend Hunter, getting his hero back. His hand being dispatched with Hawk. Attack for 3. He didn't hold back that champion to soak up 3 points, and he didn't hold back the Signal Pest to maybe count if Craig has a removal spell. He sent for 3. Remember that. He plays the Glint Hawk, bounces his Nexus, which was activated before, and replay it to the land as his land. Obviously, both players playing quite deliberately, as anyone would at Pro Tour top. So I had to cut out some of the thinking. Activates the Nexus, puts block on, then dispatches. This doesn't really matter. He's, quote, playing around Mana Leak, but obviously, if Craig has Leak, then Conley's probably dead. That isn't to say that you shouldn't just always play technically sound, but in this case it happened to not matter. But this is a good example of somebody just playing correctly every time. So now Craig ends up playing his Timely for only not life, because again, it's pretty impossible for Wescoe to be below Conley at any point. I also would have argued in favor of... Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's correct. Alright, so we get this attack. And if you add it up, so the two biggest guys are the champion and the hero, both of which are hitting for 4 thanks to Signal Battle Cry. So if you block both of them, it's Signal Pest deals 1 thanks to hero, Hawk is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Remember that 3 points that Woods got through? This means that Craig has to block with all 3 of his guys. Otherwise, he could take it, go down to 1 or whatever, and have an extra lethal creature on the backswing that Conley wouldn't be able to deal with. So he blocks, taking 8. So these are the shots I was trying to edit out. I guess I missed one. Conley looking fierce. Looking at Craig like he's a big tetherball. So he finalizes his blocks, and they resolve damage, and then Conley shows that his draw for the turn was Glint. And actually, if you listen to this match, a bunch of people cheer, but like right when he reveals the hawk, you can hear me yell something. It's like, "Oh man," or something like that. But then, but then right after that, everyone else started cheering also, and you kind of lose me. But people were saying like how lucky this was for him to draw a Glint Hawk, which yeah, I mean it is. But he put himself in this spot beautifully. If we go back to the deck list, he actually has more outs than just Glint Hawk because Craig needs all of his untapped creatures to block. So if Conley had drawn this number doesn't do it because Conley can't cast it or he'll die. So the Oblivion Ring would have done it, and the other 2 dispatches would have done it, as well as the other Glint Hawks, or an Origin Spellbomb drawn into a Glint Hawk. So he actually had a lot more outs than people give him credit for. But sure enough, Wescoe, this is a beautiful shot. I kept this one in on purpose. Wescoe has a redundant Geist in hand, and then he draws, and watch this shot. Zooms in, and confirms it's the plains. Wescoe drew pretty horribly towards the deck. Told a check. Make sure they're still alive. Don't just accidentally take lethal. Conley blocks before the angel's even out. Wescoe evaluates one more time to make sure and extends the hand. Alright, so let's go back to this game state where we saw Fiend Hunter on Hero. Imagine for a moment that instead we played Timely Reinforcements. So, after he draws, this is going to be Timely's hand. Let's say we Timely, and obviously we attack him, bang, down to 2. 2 life, we're at 14. This was the turn that when we Fiend Huntered his hero, he dispatched it and attacked for 3. So we're at, down to 11. So we're at 14. Now here, let's go over what could have happened. Alright, first let's examine the most simple possibility, which is Conley just goes all in. Attacks with everything. He dispatches 2 soldiers, attack, attack, attack. He has 2 soldiers of his own. And these are attacking also. They have vigilance now. So, with this attack, he's representing 1, 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 damage, alright? 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That means we only need to block 1 guy to survive from 14, we conveniently have one blocker. We block. He plays Glinthawk and replays Nexus. These are all taps. So he has two blockers for two lethal creatures in Geist and his Angel. We Fiend Hunter the Glinthawk. He only has one blocker. He dies. Alright? He cannot attack all in. That is not a possibility for Conley if we play Timely Reinforcements. Let's look at what would happen if, after we Timely, he attacks us for 3. Now we're down to 11. We untap, and basically, oh yeah, he also plays Glinthawk, obviously, with Xbox Nexus. So now, he has enough mana to do everything. He goes like Animate Nexus off of itself, Glinthawk off of Plains, replay it, and then he has Moreland Haunt to activate it to block, and 2 more Plains for his 2 dispatches. Now we attack all in. He dispatches 2 of our guys, and has 1, 2, 3 blockers for 1, 2, 3 lethal attackers, and if we Fiend Hunter an attacker before in our first main phase, then he dies. So he can't attack for 2. I'm sorry, he can't attack for 3. Let's see what happens if he attacks for 2. He attacks for 2, we're down to 12. And he's still at 2. Oh, I forgot to give me my Timely tokens back. Alright. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lethal creatures with a Fiend Hunter. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers and 2 dispatches. So again, he dispatches 2 guys. I guess we have to Fiend Hunter first. So we Fiend Hunter hero, say, and he dispatches it, getting his hero back. Divide dispatch. Now he's going to dispatch a soldier token. And he's got 4 blockers for 4 lethal creatures. He has to block all of them. Hero lives against a 3/3 soldier. And these all die. And now he's got a hero and an X-champion against a Geist. He hit us for 2, down to 12. Attacks with hero, just the 2 soldiers, and the soldiers deal 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We live at 3, and he needs to draw yet another thing that can deal with 2 attackers. Got it? Alright. Now, let's say he doesn't attack with anything. Then we probably win. Like, there's nothing that he can do at that point. We keep attacking with Geist, and he has to keep double thumping it. He can block X-champion, but we can Fiend Hunter, the Signal Pest, and make him use a dispatch on it, and then that's 1 less Angel he can dispatch, and he's got to keep drawing flying guys. And if he ever, like, kills Geist with a team block, then we Moreland Haunt it into a flyer, and he dies anyway. So yeah, that's my analysis of that game state. I think that it's really hard to do that, to actually take a hit from a hero like that. But there are certain times where doing something that may seem like scary mathematically is a better play. I remember I was on camera playing a Solar Flare-esque deck and against a Wolf Run deck, and there was this line I end up losing, and there was this line I could have taken where I let a Primeval Titan resolve. And Gerard Fabiano pointed it out to me afterwards, and I had to think about it. I had to watch the video, because surely that's not good to let a Primeval Titan deck resolve its Primeval Titan. But you get in these modes where you kind of lock your brain into thinking something like getting attacked by a hero is bad, or letting Primeval Titan resolve is bad, where it's right 99% of the time, but if you're not constantly reevaluating every individual game state, you can miss certain lines that might have won you otherwise lost games. So, that wraps up episode 5 of AJTV. Here's a bunch of info. I've been streaming at Twitch TV, so you should check me out there. Actually, none of this stuff really matters at all. The only thing that matters is this thing, my Twitter. If you follow me at Twitter, then the rest will fall into place whenever I upload anything to YouTube, or if I stream on Twitch, or an article goes up on Star City, or I write something in my blog, or anything happens, I tweet about it. So that's your best way to make sure you don't miss any content. And I know that we're actually like 2 weeks into the new year, thanks to all these delays, but I would really, really, really appreciate it if everyone would tweet me their goals in Magic for the new year. 2012, what do you want to do in Magic? Whether it's to play in your first FNM or win all 3 Pro Tours and the Player Championship, whatever it is, I would love to hear it. So please tweet that at HUD.HUDBOT right here, and I will see you guys next time.